All right, fellas. So we got the Jeep in the garage. We're gonna get it up in the air. Honestly, I think I could probably just crawl underneath it and get most of the bolts off. We got the Solo Performance street exhaust here. So gonna go ahead and get this video kicked off. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I had started to make a video the other day about doing the Solo exhaust install on the Jeep, and I ran into a whole bunch of issues when I started to take off you got the factory exhaust over here. When I started to take the factory exhaust off, I ran into a whole bunch of issues. First off being the clamps on the end of this pipe for the rear mufflers were so rusted that the bolts were like not even 14 millimeters anymore. They were like a weird 12, 13. So nothing I could get was working to remove them, and I actually snapped one of them and the clamp was still tight. And then these front ones were being a pain too, and we actually had to cut two of them. The only one that came off was this one right here, and as you can see, it started to pull out. But I actually just stopped, went to my friend's house. I had a lift, we got out saws, we got out an air hammer, and it was off really quick. So that was great. So then we went on to start installing the Solo, and hopefully you guys can see this is the Solo right here. Comes over, mates up. It's just a catback. So as we started to install the Solo, we ran into an issue where part of this that comes over the axle is slip fit, and it wouldn't slip in. And what I'm thinking I had here was like a combination of maybe slight factory fit and finish issues with FedEx or USPS, whoever delivered it, throwing this exhaust around when it was on its way here. Because what happened was two of my tips that you see now were bent, like they had big old dings in them, and then one of the pipes on the inside that was an outlet had a dent in it on the lip. So we had to have a lot of MacGyvering and DIY stuff to try and get it to fit. We ended up having to heat up one of the pipes to expand it and then shove the other one in it to form to it. It was just a big pain, and it's a really tight fit, and as you can see, it's pulling to the right. So I'm gonna have that fixed later, and I will give it up to Solo. They were awesome enough to send me two brand new tips because I asked for a warranty coverage, and they sent me two new tips, and that was great. Like I said, Solo got me two new tips. We had the Solo exhaust on. It sounds really good. I'll get you guys a video of it here soon. But the reason that I'm making this video now is because this exhaust and a combination of the creative steel bushing I did up front is something's causing some sort of noise. And I really think it's the exhaust itself hitting me with a little bit of resonance. Something feels kind of loud inside the cabin. And actually, this is why I pulled out my sunroof control panel, was because something while inside the car was like pinging above my head in the headliner, like the pillars, the headliner, the dash. Something was moving. So what I decided to do is take out the rear section of the car, and I'm going to remove this piece right here. I got to do a whole bunch of cleaning, as you can see, but I'm going to remove this section right here, and I'm going to actually hit it with some Dynomat. So ordered some Dynomat. It's only 50 mil, so I'm probably going to end up having to double it up, but I'm going to go ahead and install this stuff. What I like is that this is pre-cut. Everything else online was more like rolls that you had to cut yourself. Straight lines, pre-cut. It's going to be really simple, and I'm going to Dynomat the trunk. And then I'm gonna drive around a couple more times, see what it's like inside, and then if I need more, I'm gonna work my way up to the rear seats. And I'm just gonna add some more and some more just to kind of quiet it down. Like, I like the way the exhaust sounds, but the one thing I do not like is that the Jeeps only have 5 gears. So when I'm on the highway, you know, going 75, 80 miles an hour, I'm kind of high up in RPM. So the exhaust was a little intrusive, I guess is a good word. It's not annoying, but it's a little intrusive at those speeds, and I want to be able to enjoy music and talk to people and not hear weird stuff in my dash. So again, I really like the exhaust. I like the way it sounds. That's not an issue, but I'm gonna hit it with some Dynomat because I think it needs it anyways. And the Jeep, you know, suspension, Jeep, everything, it comes inside the car. It always has, and I want to just kind of make it sound good inside. So gonna hit it with some Dynomat and see what happens. Also, I'm going to put in some new LED rear license plate bulbs because mine are really bad and blinky-ish looking, so gonna go ahead and put those in. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so it got pretty dark here in Virginia, and I don't know if you guys can see very well. Let me try it this way. I don't feel like that's any better. But basically, you can see I got the whole thing hit with like Dynamat sound deadening stuff. I basically did one layer like all the way across, and then I doubled up like right here in the middle in like a square, like coming across. I did a double layer, so it's basically like 1.5 layers all the way across the back. And then I was also having like a rattle in the sunroof, so what I did was I took out the this is basically like the sunroof control other stuff, and I went ahead and coated it with Dynamat right here. So I got it on the front, back, and then top of this plastic piece that was like really flimsy. So now it sounds a lot more solid. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hear it start up now after everything's back in, sound deadening's in.